soft sound made me freeze. I put down the photo and ducked behind a sofa. Crouching, I unrolled my weapon of choice. The Quest fam isn't fond of guns. They're not stealthy. Mom carries a knife, and according to her, Granny once had a collection of syringes with fast-acting sedatives that she could dish out like spices by a 5-star chef. I suspected I didn't have the stomach to sink a blade or a needle into someone's flesh, so instead, I adopted the Meteor bracelet. The length of links is easy to wrap around my wrist, and the heavy, cherry-sized metal weight at the end pops snugly into a magnetized ring on my middle finger. It's less difficult to smuggle past checkpoints than blades, and in my hands, just as effective, if not as final, as a knife. The pit-pat drew closer. So much for no security. Rearing back to snap my chain around someone's neck, I choked out a laugh. The prettiest cat popped onto the top of the sofa, a Siamese with sandy fur that looked like she dipped her paws and rubbed her face in ash. She blinked at me with vibrant blue eyes, then jumped to the carpet and purred, rubbing herself between my feet. I rewrapped the bracelet around my wrist and scratched her behind the ears. She mewed and rolled onto her back. I just made her month. When I was a kid, I binged vlogs on pet adoption while Mom was gone on long jobs. That was before I realized that nothing without Quest blood was ever setting foot in our house, animals included. Siamese cats are popular because they're gorgeous, but they also get lonely easily. Without companions, they tend to die early. I had a feeling the owner of this isolated house hadn't thought too much about getting their cat a friend. When I continued on, the cat followed, tail flicking happily. I nudged her away. Cute as she was, picking up a feline sidekick wasn't in the game plan. Turning, I broke into a run. French doors divided the next hallway from the last. I clicked them shut before the cat could get through. She mewed in a voice just low enough to break my heart before darting off. With her gone, I reopened the doors in case security passed through and noticed a change. My mental map led me to a room with the curtains pulled wide. The Kenyan stars and moon lent just enough light to see how stock standard the room was. Tidy furniture, tasteful wall art, a bed no one had ever slept in. Another room for ghosts. A lone vase sat on the nightstand. Qin-Long period porcelain, circa 1740. Estimated value, irrelevant. The only price that mattered was the sum our client offered to get it out of their rival's collection and into theirs. A week ago, this vase had been on display in the private gallery on the other side of the mansion, until Mom started working here as a maid. She called this a jigsaw job. Piece by piece, she smuggled in shards of a replica and assembled it. For someone as skilled as Mom, switching the real one with the fake was child's play. Unfortunately, the owner was rightfully concerned about theft. Security searched the staff each day when they left. Mom could move the vase around inside the house, but she wasn't gonna get it out. That was my job. I dragged out the case Mom had left under the bed. The cushioned interior was perfect for shock absorption. Pro tip, if you don't have a way of getting your product out undamaged, don't bother at all. Something rattled inside the vase as I picked it up. When I tipped it, a string of diamonds poured into my palm. I rolled my eyes. Mom has so many tennis bracelets, you could see her from Mars if she wore them all. If I asked why, she'd just respond, "Why not?" A laser pointer was tucked in the side of the case. I angled the beam into the motion sensor on one side of the window. Fun fact about motion sensors, you can trip most up with a $5 laser pointer off Amazon. They only detect motion when something disrupts the beam connecting them. So I made